Alright fellas, welcome in. On the workbench today is the M1 Garand. Now a lot of guys are buying these from the CMP in various states. So I just want to show you real quick how to disassemble and reassemble these rifles, just to, if you want to check up underneath the stock for any rust or anything like that. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to target this. Well, first you want to make sure the rifle is cocked, so just in case. Good to go. You can't see the hammer here. And we're going to go to this rear ring, and you want to get something like a screwdriver or something like that, and you just want to put it in the hole here and then just pull outward. So when you do that, there you go. And you'll see that'll swing down. You swing it down all the way, and then the entire trigger group and the base plate of the magazine comes right out of the gun. So that's the first thing. Clean this up, see if there's any rust, anything like that. And then you can just lift the entire rifle right out of the stock. And I recommend pulling from the rear of the receiver here. And then you can check inside the stock for any cracks, anything like that. I think this is a reproduction stock, so this one's all good to go. I'm going to move that out of the way. Let's place that over here. And now we have the guts of the rifle. So, step one, flip it upside down like this. And then you're going to grab on to your op rod spring right here. And you're going to pull backwards on this. And you'll see it's going to disengage from here. You see how that's hooked in right there. And you're trying to get that off. What I find helps is you pull a little bit and then you push down on the magazine follower. And then, and this spring's long, so make sure you hold on to it, because this thing will go flying if you let it. I mean, look at that. That spring is massive. And then you can check this for rust, lubricate it and all that. You want to keep your springs in good working order. Next, we're going to disassemble the magazine follower and all the goody bits here. So step one is you take a small punch or anything you can substitute, and you have a pin right here. And these should just come right out. Like mine, you see, I don't even have to hit it at all. It just comes right out. If you have to tap yours out, I'd recommend being gentle. These rifles are old. So now we take this whole assembly apart, and you can just pull right from there. And then these two pieces come apart here, and then you have another piece here, and then your follower. Now it's time to remove the op rod. So we're going to look right here at the track the op rod runs in. There's a small divot here, so you want to kind of pull back to about there, and then you'll see you can kind of roll the op rod upward and pull it completely off of the bolt. And then you can just remove it. And there you go. And then you can check this part for rust. You can clean all up on it. Run a patch down there if you'd like. Easy as that. Now the bolt, you just kind of twist and finagle and it comes right on out. And it's the firing pin and all that. And this whole assembly. I'm not going to show you how to disassemble this really. As long as you don't see any damage or any kind of like gunk in there. Like this is pretty free floated. So I'm not really worried about it. So I'm just going to put that to the side. Now there's a few more things we can do. I'm not going to take apart the rear sight here. You really shouldn't have to. But what you can do is you move the rifle here to the front. Here, let me readjust. And this is your gas plug right here. And the way you remove that is you just get a flathead, or they sell tools specifically for this. And this is a lefty loosey righty tighty. As soon as you get it loosened a bit, it's just hand tight. It comes right out. Now this gas plug I'm actually going to show you is, if you can see in there, there's a small little nut in there. And that is because this is an adjustable gas plug. Some people like using them for modern ammunition in M1s. I would recommend it just because these rifles are old. Then you just left to unscrew this piece right here. Then you can take the entire front sight off. Now if you want to do this gingerly, what I would recommend is a rubber mallet. And then you just tap the front sight ever so gingerly, and you see it comes right off, just like that. And then you wiggle it a bit and pull it straight off. And then you can take your front handguard and just pull that forward as well. You can leave that little metal retention piece there. And now if you wanted to take this upper handguard off here, what you would have to do is, if I could show you, there's a little pin right there. You need to knock that out with a mallet and a punch. You don't really need to do that, but I can show you it anyway. Let me do this real quick. Get a punch for you. See if this one will fit. Oh, a little too big. Does my other punch fit? That'll fit. So, and there you go. Without everything on the entire desk falling over. Just put that back. You punch that pin right out. You can shimmy this on up ever so slightly and off, and then just pull this straight off, and that's it. And then you can check up under here. You've got some markings here, and then you can check for rust and make sure it's all good. All right, now let me show you how to reassemble it. So we'll start exactly right where we were with your upper hand guard here, and these, you can see here there's a little cutout in that one, so you can kind of just slide it right on. Hopefully I can just slide it right on. So I catch that one and I twist and then push back, and then you'll see that these bands get caught in the divot. Next, take our middle handguard band, barrel band. You want to just shimmy that back on. You can even use a mallet if you'd like. Tap, tap, tap. All right, and once we're tapped on there, now we got to replace the pin. So I believe I removed it from this way, so we'll just place it back in there the same way. And that side looks like it's the side that's been hammered on. So put it right there. Take your punch. Let me try and do this a little bit out of the way of the camera so I don't knock anything over. Tap, 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 tap. You do want this pin to be flush, by the way, or else this rifle will not fit in the stock properly. So let me give that a few more generous taps. And now we are flush. All right, moving on down. Take your front handguard, slide it right on in. Please excuse the cat. He's on the scratching post. There we go. And take your front sight assembly, slide that right on. And you see there's like a little track right here that this just kind of slides right on, a couple tracks, so that your front sight stays in alignment. Smart guy that John Garand was. Did a few taps. Then take the ring here, spin to the right. Spinning, spinning, spinning. And then once you start feeling it get tight, make sure you just line it back up with where the gas tube is going to be, and then place your gas plug. I'll go down to hand tightness, and then I'm going to take my flathead screwdriver, and you kind of just want to finagle it in here a little bit and just get a little tightness, not too much. You don't want this thing to be stuck on there because it will get fouled up. All right, next, move back here to the rear. Place the bolt. Make sure you have it going in the proper way, so the side where the firing pin comes out goes toward the front. Just finagle that in. It's a nice, easy, and long. There we go. Move it to the rear. And then take your op rod back. Flip this around, and then you want to just run this in this track here. And then once you get it in, you want to kind of rotate it a little bit. Then you'll see you still have the same thing here. You have the track with this little divot in it, and that is where this tiny little piece goes, sets in, and kind of, you play with the bolt, and then once it's in, move the entire assembly to the front. All right, moving along here, we're almost done. All right, so I had to step away for a second, but we're back. Now we have our op rods in, our bolts in, the front of the rifle is fully assembled. Now we just need to assemble the magazine, follower, and such. So first things first, this piece right here, this little lever here, you want it to go up underneath. I don't know if you could see that that well. There's a tiny little catch right there, and that is for the clip release. So you want to stick it right up underneath there so that it rests on it. Then you take this piece here, and I'm so sorry, John Garand, I do not know the specific names of all the tiny parts and intricacies of this rifle. Not yet, at least. All right, so you want to put it right up underneath these guys so that it sits right in this channel here. Next, take your follower, and it's going to go ride right in these two channels here with these two. And then you just hold it right about here. Take your arm, and then you want to slide it through. And then when you're on the other side, you want this arm to go underneath the follower here, or the magazine follower. So what that looks like is place this follower in, go up underneath, right in, and then let it rest. Take your pin, slide it right in, should go in nice and easy. And then parts move, good to go. Next is the op rod spring. So you just feed it into the op rod itself. And you want to do this so that this curve points upward. All right? So pull back and then slide it right up underneath there. And you want this hook here to grab on these two divots right there. See how the hook grabs? You want it to grab just like that. And that's what kind of gives the magazine follower its tension. All right, now let's drop this back into stock. So you retrieve the stock. All right. Now, the only thing you have to worry about here is putting this groove up underneath here. So just like that, and then the rifle should just fall right in. And you flip it over, open this so that you get a good look. Take your trigger assembly, and you want, there's two divots here. You can see this one pretty good, and there's another one directly parallel to it on the other side, and you want these hooks to wind up underneath, and they'll wind up swinging once you close this. But what that looks like is you drop it in so that this takes a little bit of finagling, but come on. If I can get it in, come on. Perfect. Drop it in. Your magazine base plate should be flush with the stock. And then swing this closed. You'll hear a click. Perfect. Now we're going to do a functions check. So retract the bolt fully to the rear. Make sure it locks open. For this, I like getting a snap cap. You just want to insert that right into the barrel. Pull back on the op rod to press the follower and let the bolt go forward fully. Then pull the trigger, hammer falls, retract the bolts in the rear, ejects the cartridge, and place it in one more time. Same thing, drop that, let it fall forward, lock fully into place, put your safety on, which is pulling this bar to the rear, pull the trigger, nothing happens, safety forward, hammer fires. And that is how you fully disassemble and reassemble an M1 Garand. If you guys like this type of video, I'm probably going to have a shooting demonstration of this rifle coming up here within the next month or so. So stick around for that. If you enjoyed and this was helpful, please leave a comment, a like, a subscribe, whatever you may choose. And I appreciate you guys watching. Have a good day.